Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a test.
It's me. Hey guys, how are we doing? It is Monday, the 19th. For all of you that only follow me on YouTube, I have been gone for what feels like about 3 weeks now. I greatly apologize for that, and for all of you warm people that wanted to come and watch me, I do apologize. We're here. We're finally back live, and there's a lot to talk about. Mud Turtle, hello. I see you're on call. Holy cow, he's back. Wranglethorpe, you know I am. You know, in fact, that I am. I had to make sure my settings were all the way. Rocket Star with the Twitch Prime sub for 7 months. Oh, man, and of course, my face just blocks all of the glory that you just gave me. I do have it on the screen now, though. It's just, Mud Turtle with the Tier 3 sub for 7 months in a row. Oh, man. All right, I need to go to this screen because I am blocking everyone. This needs to be in front of my face. What is going on here? Can we move all of those? There we go. Now you are the priority in my stream. How is everyone doing? How are we all doing today? I am thirsty. My new route. Guys, my new route. It's a new route. I'm actually about 5 minutes away from home now, which is amazing. Before I was about 45 minutes away from home, so I'm saving a lot of money on gas. However, I probably just got upgraded, or whatever you want to refer it to like the third busiest route that we cumulatively have in the Madison-Dane County area. So I am super busy now with work. Today I got home at 5:15, and I got to work at 5 in the morning. And I only had one load, and it was just one store. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so insane. We're having so many good deals on these stores. So my workload has gotten a little bit heavier. 8 viewers, people love me again. I'm so sorry for leaving you guys. I'm really sorry. I apologize. But yeah, I'm gonna be back streaming now. School does start for me in September, so like in 2 weeks. So I hate to once again say it. My streaming schedule is going to have to go down to 1 day a week, and it's going to be on Saturday mornings. It is going to be for about 6 hours, though. So I am going to have a larger 1 day stream until, winter break and all that fun jazz, and I can come back and stream more. So, yes, there will be just 1 day streams, sad to say. So I can, do the school thing and not fail the school thing. I want to do the school thing, not fail the school thing. That's what I want to do so that I can get a job that isn't Pepsi and possibly not destroy my back by the time I'm 35. Hey, that's a goal, right? Life goals, everyone. So while we've been away, Play Fusion has done several things. Several good, several bad. First, I want to talk about Gen Con, because that was like the last time I saw you guys was before Gen Con. Dells, evening. How are we doing? So many of you may have known or saw on Discord or everywhere. The Gen Con tournament. Thank you, baby. My girlfriend is amazing. She made me a grilled cheese because I got home from work and was starving. She's so amazing. The Gen Con tournament, first of all, started about 2 hours late. 2 hours late. I was kind of appalled by that. There were so many people there. There were 13 people there at registration time, which I believe was like 9 o'clock. No, it was 10 o'clock. Started at 11. No, it was... I gotta get this right now because it's been 3 weeks. I think the registration started at 9 and the event started at 10. Okay, the registration started at 9 and the event started at 10. Now, this is nothing to do with Play Fusion because they obviously weren't there to run the event. This was outside contractors who did the whole thing. It was the fact that, like, I was just so appalled because the same group of people ran the Warhammer event the day before. Same booth, same starting time. And then the next day, they're like, oh, we thought it was around noon. And I'm like, what would make you think that? The Gen Con website said 10 o'clock. The Lightseekers website said 10 o'clock. I don't know where you got that it started at noon. I don't know. Luckily, Jade was on the ball on our Discord who heard the news and was like, oh, Lord, we need to, like, wake these guys up right now. And I'm just like, how? How do you guys do that? But anyway, that was, the event started at, like, 11:30 or noon. Everyone got registered. There were 13 people there. 13 amazing people supporting the game. I unfortunately didn't go down to, after I heard it was like late and all this stuff. I was gonna go down and like take pictures, get, you know, make an appearance there, and you can go ahead and hate me. I didn't do that. Mostly because I didn't want to show up and start taking pictures of people who are just outraged that nothing is happening, that no event is starting. And I was like, oh God, what is happening? I don't want to go down there and be like, hey, you know, have them start asking me questions and I have no answers for them. I'm just like, hey, you know, I'm here to support the game. And everyone's just like, this is stupid. Everyone was just in an upset mood. So I do apologize for not going down there as everyone wanted. I did say I was going to film maybe some games and I didn't, of course, get a chance to. So I do apologize for that. The booth that PlayFusion had at Gen Con. I was a little disappointed with it this year. I was, and it started out with, obviously, because it was a little bit smaller than my first year at Gen Con. It was a little bit smaller because that was their big opening, right? That was, oh, Lightseekers here at Gen Con. Let's go all out. You had the like tablets. They had the toys. They had everything for sale. They had mats. They had a really big crowd. This time it was a little more lean, a little more clean cut. They had the tables for demoing. They had one booth for selling stuff. They didn't really have a tablet for people to show that you could scan cards in, nothing like that, to show that there was a physical and a digital side to it. But also, they were testing the game with the Awakening starting decks, and I kind of looked at that and went, don't you think you'd want to introduce people with the Kindred starting decks, the decks that are 100% legal, that are, you know, not rotated out of the format, nothing like that. And all the decks they were running were the Awakening ones. And I just kind of saw that and went, I know for a fact that you're just trying to use stock. You know, you have a bunch of Awakening stock, that's fine. But you're selling the Kindred starter decks. You're selling Kindred Uprising, Mythical, all this stuff. There wasn't a whole lot of Awakening for sale, but that's what they were testing with. That's what they were demoing with, was the Awakening starter decks. And I was just kind of rubbing my head going, why would you demo something and then immediately go ahead and tell someone, oh, by the way, what you demoed with, you can't even use in the game. If you wanted to play, you know, ranked or anything like that, the cards you played, forget about them. There's a whole bunch of other fun things that you can do now, but you didn't get to play with them. So that was kind of like iffy on my part. And then I got home. And I think it was like I think it was last week. They put out the news post, essentially telling people that they will not be moving forward with physical. I'm gonna take a bite of grilled cheese here real quick. She makes the best grilled cheese, I swear. So good. So they essentially said that they're not printing off Wave 5, and they gave a reason for that. The reasoning is the simple fact that trying to keep the digital and the physical all together is very time consuming and very almost game disruptive, because as soon as they start making erratas or changes that we the people are asking for, they've already printed the card, which means that they do the digital change that we ask for to fix the game. The physical card, they can't just, hey, give us that card back, let me write on it or reprint it. Like, they can't just do that. That costs money. And of course, a company, I don't care what company you are, it has to have some foundation of being in it to make a profit off of it. I know gaming companies are like, we're gaming, we love you guys, it's what gaming companies should be. It is. Like, the core of it is. But a part of you does need to make a profit off it if you're going to continue. Because if you don't make a profit, your game just dies. And you're like, well, sorry, community, you guys didn't buy it. So what they're going to do is moving forward is they are going to go strictly digital so they can do a lot more of erratas. And I think they even said they have 401 cards that they are changing that are outside of the new Wave 5 cards. Now, to me, as much as I'm like, yes, we're getting a change, we're finally getting all these new changes, that's awesome, the game will be balanced, it sounds like we're moving out of beta, right? Because I've always been saying, guys, we're in beta, we're going to be in beta for a while until, like, all the Awakening cards get rotated out, until I do something with just the plain vanilla damage and healing cards. We're in beta, let's give it a chance. To me, this is a step forward of moving actually out of beta and going into where the game that they want to make should be. That's what we're moving forward into. And in the back of my mind, I was like, wow, 401 cards, all being errated and changed. How long have you guys been working on these erratas? And obviously, they're not being that communicative with us, which is one thing that we're like, come on, guys, just tell us. Just saying, hey, we're behind the scenes, we're making some changes, but they're being so hush hush for like several months until they give us a big information dump like this. And if they're changing 401 cards to, obviously they're getting away from the multiplayer aspect of what the physical side was, and I loved the multiplayer aspect of physical. I really hope that if we do keep physical alive, not if, when we do, because as a community, when we do, a lot of them said they're just changing the rarities. Could it be kind of the stuff they already changed in that 401? Or exactly, yeah, the superiority they're changing. It's like minor micro changes to kind of balance out some cards, which is fine. That's what these errata changes should be. It shouldn't be like none of the cards should be changing to what Looper is. None of them should be doing that. That's way too much of a change. If you do that, just make a new card already, okay? Just have that card rotate out or expire and make a new card. That's what you should do. A lot of these are just changing the, taking away. I think they said the big one was take away the phrase can't be increased by effects. That was a big one. As you said before, the rarities of some are changing. The superiorities and probably some heroes are changing. A lot of just micro things are changing, which is great. That's what the balance changes are for. They said they're going to reveal some of them in the coming weeks. Awesome. And Mud Sorta, yeah, dude, I hope to the Lightseeker Almighty that we just get rid of the vanilla cards. Just get rid of the vanilla cards, the straight up damage and healing. We start to finally get back to the roots of what each of these alignments are meant to be, as opposed to like, hey, you're Mountain. Yeah, and you're Dread. Yeah, and you're Astral. Cool. Here's a card that has 5 damage. And they're like, okay, how are we different? And you're like, because that one is a Chimchu. And that one is an Elemental. And that one is an Insect in Dread, which makes no sense, but it's there. That's how you guys are different. And I'm like, no, that's not how we're different. So they are making a lot of these changes, right? They're making a lot of these changes. And of course, that changes physical entirely. That takes the cake of physical. None of the cards are almost going to be the same in physical compared to digital. So the games are once again split. That's why they're stopping physical. And that makes sense. That makes sense. If they want this game to progress and grow the way they want it to, that's what they're going to do. And then obviously physical is its own game, its own thing. If we want to grow it as a community, we can play with the old rules, the old cards. We can even go back and say, you know what? Power is going to be how it was in the very beginning of the game, where all power does, in case you don't know this, power actually, the way it started out, increased any number on a card by that much. Yeah, it was dumb. This was back when Trianu had 2 numbers on it that says heal your opponent for 3, draw 2 cards. If you got, I think it was like One with Nature, that has increased power by 2, you were healing your opponent for 5 and drawing 4 cards with Trianu. That's how the game started. Without them changing power, that was how Nature was just, oh my god. What is happening here? Yeah, it was ridiculous. I saw that move by Dratilis, Dr. Dratilis, and I was like, that's how that works? Are you for real? That's what you intended to do? But yeah, that's what power started as. And now we have these erratas, which are much better. And they fixed the ruling. They changed the way burn works. Burn, I believe you could return, you could restart, you could do all these fun things. I really do think like 50% of the changes were because Nature had some of the most broken stuff that they're just like, all right, we know We know that it's so powerful because buff removal is bad. But let's get my Nerf bat and just start beating it down into the fact where almost no one plays nature unless you're Farapang, because Farapang's my boy. Buff removal is going to be balanced. I sure hope so. I sure as ducky duck hope so. Because buff removal is it's one of the things that I'm just, it bugs me. It really does. It bugs me to no end. And yes, they're going back and they're changing the way families are interacting with the first wave cards. So I'm really happy that they're going ahead and doing this. I am wondering why it took so long for 401 card changes to be talked about. And that was also another sign that after Gen Con, like not even a month, like 2, maybe 3 weeks after Gen Con, after getting a whole bunch of new players in and possibly buying product at Gen Con, they're now telling them, yeah, the physical side is no longer going to be printed. I was like, dude, that is such a bogus move. To have people come to one of the biggest gaming conventions, the one you started at, sell off your product, and then 2 weeks after you get a whole bunch of these new players in, tell them, yeah, the physical side's not being continued with. I hope you like the digital app. And I was like, dude, that's not a good move. I mean, they said they all will remove 2 with a condition. We all know why, RG. In my defense, I did say that a lot, but they were probably thinking that way back at the beginning. As I said before, the number one thing that the people at PlayFusion wanted to do is change how buff removal worked. And they're finally doing it. Oh, no, we all know why it took them so long. Because it's PlayFusion. They had 401 cards to do. Because we were constantly telling them, working on Warhammer. Ah, Mud Turtle. I mean, if it wasn't true, it wouldn't hurt so much, would it? Warhammer has never had a delay in any of their sets come out. It hasn't. They're actually releasing a new set with a new mechanic right now. They have a video about it. It's really cool. I hope we get the same treatment for Lightseekers. But yeah, they're going about this huge change. They're going about the huge change for Lightseekers, which means we're finally leaving the beta, guys. We're finally leaving the beta, and we're going on to a game that we can really love and enjoy. And it'll be more intricate, have a lot more play level and game level, and that's awesome. That's awesome. I'll just read some of the headline. I won't read the whole thing, but we want removal to feel a bit fairer between the orders. That's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. Buff removal should be unique to its own order. You should not have 3 cards that read the exact same and then be able to cross order and just include more buff removal. You should not be able to do that. We want to encourage a great variety in hero use. Tempest, Selene, High Curator Arwen. Why would you play anything else if you could just draw cards? I hope they do something about that. And I hope the change isn't just to make so those heroes don't have superiority. Because if you don't have superiority, and all you're doing for every action is just drawing a card, you don't need superiority. You really don't. And if then, you would just add an item to do it. I hope they change the way their actually ability works. Or, now here's just a thought. Or, we retire those heroes. We retire those heroes and Wave 5 comes in and we get a whole new set of heroes. I do strongly think that every wave that comes in, if they want to keep the action cards, fine, whatever, but combos and heroes should be a main priority to rotate out. And I'll get back to how they're actually doing rotation and whatnot. H the Man Ola just hopped on. Dude, you're just in time for everything, man. You're just in time for everything. You're not late, you're on time. You're like a wizard. Okay, he's never too early, never too late. He arrives when he's meant to be there. They want to encourage great use of heroes. They wanted to open up some new avenues for family play. And that's great. That's great. I think there's a lot of unique things to do with families right now. As I've built Beasts ones, I've built Chimchu decks. Like, I've built decks with family orientation, and they're really fun to do. But nothing is more efficient than just dealing damage with any damaging card. There's nothing more efficient than that. So that's what they're doing. They're hopefully opening up the avenue for more family play, and it'll be really cool. I think that's awesome to do. They wanted to encourage more buff play. Now, this is something. Oh, this is. Oh yes, I don't know why I did that. This is something that warms my heart to see, as this is one of the big protests that I've been doing. Is I've been sitting here and saying, man, there is literally 2/3 of the game is buff cards. 3 times as many attack cards are buff, and 3 times as many defender buff. And the best decks in the game are buffless. 2/3 of your entire card pool, they're just tossing to the side, not even used in the top tier decks. And I'm like, what is the point of this game if all it is to attack, 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 defend, defend, attack, attack? There's no point. There's no point. So they want to encourage more buff play. I hope, and I cross my fingers, that they do that well. Because buffs are the best part of this game, and if you are literally not encouraging your player base to play with some of the best mechanics in the game, then what's the point? We wanted to trim down survivability. Oh. No more stall. No more big spikes in healing, unless it's probably from a combo. That's where the big spikes in healing should come from a combo. It should not be able to from 2 action cards. Ooh, H-Man, I'll butter your bread. Ooh. Get some nice toast on there. Golden brown, you know it. So they wanted to trim down survivability. And they go and they talk about why they had it in the way in the first place, which is fine. The way they explained it made me, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Because the way they designed it was from Awakening. And now they're making more sets. And at the time Awakening came out, they were working on the RPG game. They weren't really working on the card game. And then the card game took off. And they're like, hey, we should probably focus more on this. And they are. And that's great. That's what we love. So now they're like, hey, guys, yeah, Vitalizing Frog, we should change that. Boulder Face, we should change that. Yeah. So they're going to go through a lot of probably a lot of the heals, maybe even some of the damage reduction stuff, and how all those work. And that's awesome. I cannot wait to see what they do. And they want to rein in recursion a bit. Just all of these changes that they're talking about warm my still beating heart. They really do. All of the changes that they're discussing right now are like, yes, amazing. You are going in the absolute proper direction for this game, because these are the things that we've been complaining about. These are the things that we've been talking about. Of the problem with Dread recursion is that it's just so dominant to last through the game because you just have the healing. The big spikes in healing for survivability. You really shouldn't have massive hand defend cards that heal you for 6 or 7, unless like a major condition is meant. And they're going through a lot of this and they're changing it. And that's beautiful, beautiful. Mud Turtle. I want to take a break. I want to talk about your league, man, because you were doing amazing work with that league. I'm not a part of it because school's starting. All these changes. I was overwhelmed with how much I would have to keep up with it. And I just didn't think I'd have time to actually put my best foot forward in this, especially if I was going to be one of the few people actually streaming the game. I don't want to like fall behind on that and then give bad content to your league. But dude, I am 100% with you on this. I am super happy that you're doing that. I fully support you in every endeavor that you're doing. If there is anything that I can do to help, I will. One of the things, if people are YouTubing their videos and you wanted to highlight something, please let me know. Be like, hey, these people put their game up on YouTube. Why don't you take a look? If people want to, and the people that put it up on YouTube are okay with it, I'll put it on my Twitch, and I will comment on the games as such. Be like, hey, what do you think he's doing here? The game is going on. TS Access posted their games on YouTube today. Dude, amazing. If you have the link, post the link in chat so I can find them on YouTube. Because, yeah, I would love to see some of these games from one or both players' perspective. Dude, Mud Turtle, I would love to commentate with you, man. I would love to be the people behind the desk just talking about the game. Like, all right, this player did this. What do you think's in his hand? As you can see this guy's hand, what do you think his next play is? Like, I would love to discuss the game with you like that. And I'm going to open this up and save this for later. Oh, that's beautiful. Let's just say, make sure it doesn't play, which it automatically did. Shibes, hello. Oh, both of them did. Both of them did. Oh, it's beautiful. It's So we can get both player perspectives on it. That's awesome. You would have loved the OP at Frogtown this weekend. Lots of awesome buffs. Oh, Wrangler, that warms my heart that everyone was playing buff decks. That's amazing. But yeah, Shibes. I guess you've been gone, man. Like, just like me. Where have you been? But now the one thing that they brought up is the changes to standard. The changes to standard, which for me, like, I was super pumped, super amped off all these changes that they're doing with the erratas and all that things. And then they go ahead and they talk about how they're going to be doing a rotation. And this is kind of where I took a little bit of a step back and was like, okay, well, I want to see how this works out before I give, any opinion, any nothing like that, or like not opinion. I can have my opinion whenever I want. It's mine. It's what I can do with it. I have a show to do it for right here. It's before I give any confirmation whether I think it's good or bad, or it's going to be good or bad. And the reason is because what they're doing is when a new set comes out, as I said, the first standard set will most likely going to be sets 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we're going to have Uprising through whatever sets come out, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We have 4 more sets to come out before rotation comes. I said after that, sets 1, 2, and 3 will become standard, while 4, 5, and 6 go to Legacy. Now, I'm on the fence on how this is going to work. I like that sort of rotation where you mix in certain card pools every once in a while. But personally, I like that when it comes to draft, not in my standard. I don't. And they understand why they did it, because the players who bought all the original cards have those cards. They want to be able to say, hey, your cards aren't going to waste. You're still going to be able to play them. So I understand that. I do. But I don't want them to use that as a crutch to not bring out new sets every 3 to 4 months. I don't want them to go, hey, 2 months, we're going to play with 4, 5, 6. Then the next 2 months, we're going to play with 1, 2, 3 instead. Then after those 2 months, they're going to be like, hey, now we'll just play with like 1, 3, 5, 7, 8. And it's like, well, some of the new cards are now out. Like, how are we mixing this pool? Like, yeah, now it'll be nice and fresh, and we'll give you a new deck list. And I'm like, okay. But I want new cards. The way to keep a card game fresh is to bring out new cards. It's not to shift around which sets you can play with. And that's why I'm kind of like, okay. And yes, they are renumbering waves. You're right. They are renumbering. I kind of glossed over that. But it's the simple fact that, like, I don't want them. Bulbasaur. Wish I was able to watch more. Rip LS. I know, Bova. I know. Hopefully the digital changes they're making make the game come back, or at least be more playable to new player base. But physical, like, I miss physical so much. I really do. I wish I still had an LGS that was doing things like that. The closest one is in Ohio, I think. No, it's actually down in Chicago. If Chicago's still doing anything, it's like 6 hours away is the closest one, and I'm a little sad. But thank you, Bova. Thank you very much for the tier 1 sub. Thank you. I appreciate that for 7 months in a row, man. My heart, it loves. But yeah, that's where I'm kind of on the fence with how these waves are going to come out. Like I said, because if they're gonna go ahead and do this and have the whole like wave rotation, first off, standard is never gonna really, in my opinion, take off to where they can have like digital tournaments like they have for Magic the Gathering, or like they have for Hearthstone, or anything like that. Because if they're changing standard mode every 2 months and then just changing a new card pool, the people who want to be good and want to be competitive, they're going to have a really hard time sticking with the game unless it's the only thing they're doing. Yeah. So That's where I'm on the fence with how they're doing their new set rotation. Is I'm not a fan of it. If you want to do standard set rotation, it should come with like once a year or like every 3 sets. You rotate out sets and bring new ones in to improve the game. You shouldn't just bring back old sets and replace sets. That doesn't change the game up. If you want to experiment with older cards, that's what casual is for. If you want to experiment with some crazy interactions, that's what casual should be for. You should be focusing on your standard mode being with the newest cards. Because that way the people who play standard get excited when new cards come out. They're like, oh, awesome, this new set comes out. But when it comes out, awakening cards are going to come back in. So I wonder what I can do with that. You should be focusing on playing with the new cards. And when you bring back old sets, a lot of people don't focus on the new cards. They focus on like what kind of interactions can you do with a whole new card pool. And the new cards just kind of get set to the side as you play with the cards that you know work and you build decks that you know can function, and then you just add in a few new cards. So I'm hoping that I'm wrong about it. I really do. I'm hoping I'm wrong. But I hope that this is just a temporary thing, and that in the future, the way their waves release, they just have standard be with the newest sets, and then just add a set in, and then after a while, they rotate like a big chunk out. That's, I mean, just in my opinion, that's what every other card game I've ever played does, and it's worked. There's no reason to deviate from the norm on that part. But I will give it a chance. I will see how it works. But after a while, it comes down to the fact that like it's going to be difficult to bring new players in if you're doing this, because if a new player comes in and tries to jump in, every 2 months they have to have saved up gold or craft shards to buy very old sets that they're only going to be used for 2 months. And then after 2 months, some of those get rotated out. And you're like, okay, well, I invested in that. Now I need to reinvest in a whole new card stock or card pool to get myself back up to literally where everyone else is that's been playing this game longer than me. So it's going to be difficult to get new players into this if they don't start going to that. Only the new sets are going to keep in. And that's just my opinion. I could, like I said, I could be wrong. This could be something that they're testing out and doing, as Material says, it's a test thing, and it could work out really well for them. It could. But in the long run, if they want to actually pull in new players, giving it in a sense to where they can't like properly invest in the newer sets as they come in and just play with those and try to be competitive, that's where it's going to be a little difficult for them to do. If sets keep rotating out every 2 months to go back to old sets, because then eventually, if you're a new player, you have to invest in the entire game to stay up to date with the players who've been playing since the beginning. And that's not how it should be if you just want to play standard. Lightyear Gazillia, welcome. They're trying to be unique with their gameplay because they have kind of been at a plateau at the moment and maybe a decline. No, we can all agree they kind of have been. They had a huge 1 year lull between a set because they were doing a whole lot of in-house stuff, changes and whatnot. Right now, as I said, we're still kind of in the beta. Now is the time to test these things and figure out what works, what doesn't work. Still trying to make your game unique. All I'm saying is that I don't think that this will work in the long run, because if they're trying to get new players, it's going to be difficult to get new players while new cards are coming out, if they not only have to invest in the new sets, but then if they don't have any of the older sets, they have to invest in those as well. And that's going to be really time consuming and probably a turnoff for new players to come in. To be like, hey, I just wanted to come in now that there's not a whole lot of cards that I have to accumulate. But they're just like, oh no, there is. Because every 2 months we'll bring back an old set. And if you don't have those, you're going to be behind. So you better just get the entire game. And that's not what card games are meant to do. They're meant to play with, if you want to be competitive, yes. If you want to have fun and casual, experiment with a whole bunch of stuff, then go and collect old cards. You're fine. You're fine with that. But you should be able to be competitive and play with just the new sets. So I'll cross my fingers and hope it works. But as I'm saying, in the long run, I don't think it'll help with a new player base. I think this test will help with keeping old players happy with their cards that they're using, because there's a lot of casual players and not a lot of standard players from what I'm understanding on the Discord. But I hope it's, in my opinion, I hope it's a temporary thing. I really do. And that's my 2 cents on it. My 2 cents on it. But yeah. I think that's pretty much all the news I wanted to discuss about Lightseekers today. Lightseekers Zilla is actually here. Her Frogtown Hobbies is still doing physical play, still holding events. She's constantly coming up with new ideas, new ways to play the game. I think that's awesome and amazing. So if any of you guys get a chance to make it out there, do it. Go play with the Frogtown Hobby crew. Keep the game physically alive. There's a lot of fun things that they can do, especially if multiplayer is only in physical. That's one of my favorite modes to play, and it's so much fun. So much fun. And I think there was another person who just posted on Facebook today that he's also keeping the game alive. He talked with PlayFusion themselves and were able to get Moonshot is on the fence. Okay. But yeah, he was able to talk to PlayFusion, and they're still going to do prize support for physical stuff. So it's not dead. It's just there's a fire that's still kindling. Yes, Brandon Bay at Red Raccoon Games. There it is. It's a fire that is still kindling, that we are fanning and keeping alive, because that's the community that I know, that I love. You guys are amazing. Come back down to Frogtown RG. I'll be your partner for multiplayer. Oh, I'll have to plan an event sometime to make it actually down there. Dude, I will Wranglethor. I will two-headed giant with you all day. It was an interesting discussion to have on Saturday. I mean, yeah, it probably was to have that news be dropped on Friday, and then have to go into your local LGS and talk to them, and be like, hey, they're not doing it anymore. Like, that's gotta stink. We got 4 people at the moment who are all in, but we have to get the store to keep hope. No, I hear you. Let's go and end October, driving through there anyway. I got to save up money for another trip. Right now, my bankroll is like borderline running by check. So let me see what my finances look like and see if I can afford to go out there again. And when I do, we will have a date planned, and we will make it out there, and we will have a big two-headed giant tournament. We'll make the community grow again. We'll have an amazing time like I did last time. Like 20 plus people. We'll get everyone and their dog. We'll teach them how to play too. Exactly, Cecilia. I'm really happy that you were able to talk with people who still want to play the game and hold the event, keep the spirits alive of everyone. I think it's amazing, and thank you, like 100% thank you for being there to help this grow as much as it has, and to not let it die. I understand the feeling of being defeated, have them drop this news and be like, wow, there's no more physical support. That does not mean that physical is dead. That just means they don't support it. It's up to us to keep it alive, and like I said, there's many different game modes that we can come up with. We can change rules, we can ban specific cards like Mud Turtle is doing. There's so many different ways to play this game, and my headphone is just, it's buzzing like no one's business. I'm going to take this one out because this one's freaking out on me. It's like, and my ears just, I'm going to have a headache if I keep that in. I will have to get my 2v2 team format down. Oh, yes. Do it. See, the way I thought of it is you either have 2 people sit side by side so you can see each other's hands, and then, like, if the person on the left has target enemy, the person on the right has target enemy, or you sit kitty cross from them and you don't see their hand, but it's easier to do target enemy that way because the board will just keep going around. But there's many different ways to do it. It all depends on if you want to be able to communicate with your opponent or with your partner. But I would love to play like euchre style. We're just like, no. I got it, man. All right? It's all good. It's all good. Trust me. Man, I just heard that without my microphone or without my speaker. Maybe my microphone's creeping out. I'll send you what I got for it later. Oh, I would love to see it. I would love to see that Cecilia. I would love to. So that's why I partly down as euchre style. I would do like euchre style sounds awesome. That sounds amazing to do. But with that being said, I will go ahead and put this out there. Because my streaming is going to start going down to 1 day a week in September. And I don't know when the physical or the digital changes are going to hit. I am going to be taking a break from digital light seekers. I will, like, if the tournaments, if Mud Turtle wants to hit me up for commentary, I would love to do that, man. I would love to come on there, do some commentary with you. I really do think it's my ear. I think it's like earwax is just vibrating off of me talking so much, because now I'm hearing it without my speaker. That I'll do that. If anyone has a deck doctor that they would like me to look at, obviously, hit me up. Please hit me up. I would love to take a look at a deck and be like, hey, this was posted to me by so-and-so. He needs some help. He wants to try this thing going, but it doesn't have the cards. More than happy to do that. More than happy to do that. Yes, Mud Turtle, I would love to talk with you and see what that is. I'll send you a deck doctor later. Please do. Please do, Rangathor. All right, I'm freaking out. Because I'm hearing a buzz, and there's nothing in my ear. There's nothing there, but I'm hearing a static feedback. I am turning into a robot, and I don't know how I feel about it. Could be good, could be bad. We'll see. We'll see. With that being said, my streams are still going to be. We can talk Lightseekers all day, every day. I will still keep up on the Lightseekers news, because I am still, cross my fingers, to keep my spot as the #1 Lightseeker streamer. Did you see my Tally deck with your idea of Stalking Horror and Bug Rider? I did, Rocket Star. I did. I haven't got a chance to play it, but it looks really cool. I'm trying to figure out what the differences were in mine and yours, because I haven't gone back to mine in a while. So I'll have to look at that. I am really starting to freak out here. Like, did I have water in there or something from my shower I took after work? Oh! But, yes, I will definitely have to look at that, because that Talia deck, I was really hoping there would be some hope for that idea. To be able to, with the Bug Rider out, toss a combo on top and then do something with damage. Like, there's got to be something in there that's really innovative. But unfortunately, I haven't had time or the patience to keep working on that. So I'm really happy that you did, Rocketstar. I'm really happy you did, and I can't wait to see what you've done with it. But yeah, back to my whole pre-rambling of Lightseekers. Until the digital cards come out, I'll still talk about news, but until the digital stuff hits Lightseekers, I probably won't be playing it on my 6-hour streams, mostly because the way the game is at right now with standard, I've personally never been really a standard player. That's not my go-to. I love draft. And I'm hoping with the card changes, draft changes dramatically. I hope the rewards come to make draft worth playing. Until all these digital changes come out, I probably will take a step back from Lightseekers. I'll play it, obviously, if you guys want me to, or if there's a deck doctor, I'll definitely put a few hours into that. But what I will be doing, just to kind of, because it's Saturday, I'm working, I'm going to school, playing card games can get a little stressful at times, as you've seen. I'm not immune to that stress. It's what happens. I will be playing probably just some point-and-click adventure games, just single player. Just being able to relax for a few hours, talk with you guys about anything you want. That's mostly what I want my Saturday mornings to be. So I hope that's okay with you guys if I do that until PlayFusion has figured out everything they want to do, has got the game into the state where they want it to with all of the digital changes, with the new waves that are coming out. I will definitely still keep you up to date with the wave cards when they come out, and we will talk about those as they are released. And if PlayFusion is here, or if anyone at PlayFusion wants to talk to me about doing card reveals, I'm more than happy to do it. More than happy to give my 2 cents, do more card reveals, and just that's what I'll be doing. But until then, as I said, I'll most likely be just playing just relaxing point-and-click adventure games, so that while I play at my own pace, I can talk with you guys. I can chat with you guys just leisurely about anything, about the game, about Lightseekers, about whatever you guys want to talk about. Maybe even about the league. about the league that Mud Turtle's running. Like, oh man, we had a great game on league, but oh, tell me about it, man. I'd love to hear how that's coming along. I would love to hear that. I swear there's something in my ear. If I explode midstream, it's because there's an earwig in my head. Just oh, it's not water. That's not water. I tried that old pool water trick. But so what we're going to be playing today to start us off after our 3-week after Gen Con hiatus, just to chill, just to relax. Maybe you could feature a game or two on Saturdays from the league. Dude, Mudster, I would love to. I would absolutely love to. We can do that every Saturday morning. I'll feature a game or two from the league, give my own commentary if Mud Turtle is here and would like to join me. More the merrier. We can get our mics on. Mud Turtle. All right, as we clearly see, he's got this going. Yeah, dude, you and I can comment on him all day. I think we'd do some amazing gameplay and discuss like why they did such certain plays or something like that. We'll have to get it set up where we can possibly see both players' hands. I think that would be really cool. So we can discuss like, oh, what do you think this player's doing? He's got to watch out for this. Like, is he gonna play into that or stuff like that? I think that'll be really cool. I have done nothing but invest and share in my opinion of how much I want to be a commentator on this game than actually like a hardcore pro player. I'm not a standard player. I come up with amazing ideas sometimes, like once in a blue moon. I help people with what I think is good and bad. But I am not a person who's going to sit there and grind out ladder. I want to be the person who goes to tournaments just to talk. Just to let everyone enjoy the gloriness that is my voice. And talk about the game and give play-by-plays with perhaps a dirty little tortoise that's slightly wet with some dirt. Perhaps him, unless he wants to play pro. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I would love to be a commentator, if anything, above an actual pro player. That's where my heart lies. That's where my heart lies. Saturday is OLL League Day. Dude, you know it. If someone is really good with video editing, please do like one of those fancy NFL things for the OLL. Just like really awesome graphics. I would love to see that. I really would. And then yeah, me and Mud Turtle can highlight the games. We can discuss them, and we can just. I mean, if it's just like one game, we'll do the whole game. If it's a few games, we'll discuss certain plays in the games and why they did it. It'll be awesome. We'll do that for a few hours every Saturday morning. Like I said, I'm streaming for 6 hours. So 6 hours or 2 hours of that, 4 hours of playing another game and just chilling. I am A-okay with that. I would love to do that with you guys. So yeah, please still enjoy my stream. Wow, my cheese, it's not green, I swear, it's yellow. But it's so close to the green that it looks like my cheese is not there, and it looks like I'm eating mold. It's yellow, and it's delicious. Whoever posts theirs on YouTube, we can look at it. Awesome, Mud Turtle. Yeah, I'm a part of the league on Discord, so I will definitely keep up with that and see who's posting theirs. And you can save yours until then. I would love that, dude. I would love to see your gameplay, and not only talk with you about what you did, about like, oh man, what were you thinking your opponent might have? Why are you bringing these 3 decks, or why'd you ban his? I would love to get player insight with you. That would be so awesome. And if any of the players that we've been highlighting in the games, if they want to jump on and give their player insight, that'd be pretty cool too. That would be pretty awesome to get some of these players to actually come on and talk about their games after the fact. Beautiful. I think that would really help grow not only the Lightseekers community, but really get some of the players noticed a little more if they were online. So these are all things that I'm A-okay and more than happy to talk about with you guys. But today, Cecilia, I did try to go on that site that you sent me and download King's Quest, but it's under maintenance. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, the one game I wanted to play is under maintenance. So I was super upset that I couldn't get that downloaded. What I was able to do is go on to GOG. I know, right? I was so upset. I went on to GOG. If you guys don't know about this, I learned this actually from a very famous streamer called Day9. He is my inspiration in a lot of things I do. If any of you guys are aware of him and you come and see me, you might see very much similarities in our personality of how we stream, because I I watched him religiously when I just started Twitch, and he's such an amazing, very positive personality guy. I was like, I want to be like that when I stream. I want to be that person, like, has nothing but hope and positive vibes, because that's what I came for. I came for him. I didn't care what game he was playing. I came for him because he's awesome. And he actually does every week a show called Mostly Walking, which I try and watch as much as I can because it's awesome. He plays old point and click adventure games with two of his game developer friends. And they just talk about the game development of the game, and they play the game and they have fun. And I'm like, that sounds awesome. So GOG is the website, GOG.com. If you guys don't know about it, go ahead. Link. They have a lot of really fun games there to play, old and new. It's kind of like Steam, but for just computer games. And I saw a game on there that the art style intrigued me. It's a point-and-click adventure game. I'm not much for a Cthulhu game, but I was intrigued by this because it's a comedy Cthulhu adventure called Gibeus. And we're going to start playing that in just a little bit. I'm going to take a break quick, refill my water bottle, and we will start playing Gibeus when we get back. So don't go anywhere. We're going to be playing a fun game. If you guys have played it, please no hints, no spoilers. Just watch me fail in every turn. Wait, Comedy Cthulhu? Wrangler, you are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. I try not to start these games like Day 9 does. I try not to start them until you guys are there so we get the full experience. However, I did have to start it to get the settings right so it actually streamed properly. Is losing your sanity really that funny? Could be for you guys. For you guys, it could be. So, guys, I'll be right back. We will play some Gibeus, a Cthulhu adventure. And we'll hang out. We'll play this game. We'll talk about it. If you guys want to talk about the game mechanics, I'm more than happy to. If you guys want to talk about anything, I'm here to talk while we just play a game. It's really all I'm here for, is to talk. We can discuss more Lightseekers things if you guys really want. So, don't go anywhere. I'll be right back in just a few minutes here. We'll have some fun, guys.